Hi there, so my name is Kirsty Paul and today I'll be presenting to you an internationalisation plan for a company called PV Solar UK based in Glasgow. So the presentation overview, this presentation will consist of three parts. So initially a company overview and an overview of the international renewables market. Secondly, international market selection and then an entry mode selection as well, and finish with the monetary implications of these selections and some conclusions and recommendations. So we'll begin with the company overview. So PV Solar UK was established in 2009. It's an SME organisation based in Glasgow and they provide domestic renewable products for homes around the UK, such as solar panels, battery storage systems, air source heat pumps and LED light bulbs. And currently their international activities are limited to the importation of products from China. So currently we'll have a look at the renewables market within different countries around the world. So China is advanced in terms of technology and the development of renewable products. However, they lack the implementation of these products within their country. They are used to shipping them out to other places, for example the UK. However, the Chinese government have implemented a 5-year plan which has quite vast renewable targets, so it means everything produced in China is going to have to be focused and installed in China as well in order for them to meet these targets. GCC countries refer to the UAE, Saudi Arabia and other countries within the Middle East. So they are probably the most lacking in terms of renewable energy. They are currently at the research and development phase with a growing interest from both country natives and development companies in terms of implementing such software, because there's still such a high employment rate to drill oil in these countries. Their focus remains on oil. So the USA has a focus on commercial development in terms of biomass energy, installing large renewable technologies into organisations rather than the domestic customer. And at present there's little to no growth in the solar energy sector within America. In terms of the EU, they have a renewable energy target to meet by 2020. However, in order for them to do this, they require help from external countries to allow them to achieve this, because their infrastructure at the minute isn't advanced enough to allow them to meet this target. So in addition to all of these countries, the UK is currently ranked 13th in terms of use of renewable energy, which is quite high in terms of it being a global measure. However, the trend that seems to occur between all of the countries, and possibly including the UK, is a lack of a solid progress plan. So governments introduce time frames for things to happen but don't introduce an infrastructure for them to actually be achievable. So when we were looking at a market for PV Solar UK to utilise in terms of internationalisation, I chose Amsterdam. The reason for this is PV Solar are looking to grow in terms of inward internationalisation and reduce their importation costs. Amsterdam is an ideal place for this because of the large docks and the well-established shipping networks that are already there. There's also easy access for trucks from Britain to enter into these areas of Europe, which make the transportation routes much easier. In terms of barriers to entry into this market, there's no trade barriers at present due to the European Economic Union. However, this may be affected as a result of Brexit, but as Theresa May hasn't formalised any plans, we're unsure of just exactly how much this will impact. In terms of working capital that's available to the company at present, this could limit them opening a satellite branch within Amsterdam because there's initial setup cost, and there also could potentially be issues in an increase in transportation costs due to weather. Weather can affect shipping routes and can also affect roads, so these have to be taken into consideration as well. Networks. Now, in terms of the networks that PV Solar already have, they have a vast wealth of individuals that they already have communication with within Amsterdam, due to previously using Amsterdam as a shipping port but never having a satellite office there before. They also have gathered trustworthy consultant relationships there, which would allow them to use these consultants to create a model which would work best for PV solar. International market entry. So how would they do that? A wholly owned subsidiary seems to be the best option. The reason for that being that renting one small office allows a retention of more control here at head office. So the purpose of internationalisation in this case is to reduce importation costs. So they only need a small branch, they don't need a storage system, they just need one person or two people to be a connect in between China and the UK. The implications of this market entry, however, there is a slight loss of managerial control in terms that you're placing a lot of trust in these individuals within your satellite branch to be able to communicate effectively between both head office here and the manufacturer in China. So the new office's operations will have to be taken into consideration in terms of the current company's business model. This may require a slight restructure or alteration to the processes that are currently in place. And the final kind of implication would be the initial outlay of costs, so the rent and the wages in order to set up this satellite office. Monetary implications in terms of what they already face plus what could happen due to the market entry mode. So at present, the imports that the products that they import from China are paid in pounds, and the contract between the manufacturer and PV Solar UK is in pounds, so that removes any need for a consideration of exchange rate, because the manufacturer has considered what the exchange rate is and has chosen pounds as the best currency to charge in, really. So in future, if they imported via Amsterdam, this provides a choice. If you bring in bonded units would be a large container full of one product, and if they were bonded and they came straight from China to the UK, even via Amsterdam, but were not opened, the VAT would only be paid here in the UK. However, if they were unbonded in Amsterdam, the VAT would be paid there, and then nothing would be paid when they come to the UK. Therefore, any fluctuation in exchange rates would allow the Amsterdam branch to make a decision whether they would be best to remain bonded or unbonded before they travel on to the UK. However, a slight downside is that currency choice is usually set by a manufacturer. This means that they have all of the control and all of the consideration of the exchange rates, so whatever works best in their favour can sometimes prove more expensive for the customer. So some recommendations and conclusions. Initially, I would suggest that they allow for 6 to 12 months to ensure that the home market within the UK remains stable in terms of renewable energy development. This has the potential to change, possibly even on a monthly basis, due to changes in legislation from both the UK government and the Scottish government, as there's been a number of incentives designed and implemented over the last 3 years, which have been quickly installed and removed due to the cost. So if this is the case and the market is stable, I would suggest opening a satellite branch in Amsterdam, which is familiar territory for the company, and again allows 6 to 12 months here to establish operations. If this proves to be a successful move, I would suggest purchasing some property in Amsterdam to remove the rental cost, and it also provides familiar places for both trucking networks and for shipping networks. And finally, if growth was to remain above market expectations both in the UK and the success of the branch in Amsterdam, my next suggestion would be to open a satellite branch in China. The reasoning for this would be you would have a native purchasing directly from the manufacturer, which should work out better in terms of costs, and then the native in China that is working there has total control over the shipping methods and also has the best understanding of the routes for the product to get from China to the UK, which overall should save the company money. Thank you very much for listening.